Everybody, welcome back to the Shit Nobody Tells You About Pain with me, Amy Eicher, your friendly pain coach. Today, we are going to be talking about things that work when it comes to treating chronic pain. And I ask you to bear with me because research and common knowledge generally don't keep up well. So let's just get into it. Let's just talk about it. All right. So everybody wants to know, what can I do to fix my chronic pain, right? We all want the magic solution. I'm just going to be straight up front and say there is none. There is none. So if you are looking at a treatment and the doctor or the marketing is telling you this is the fix, don't believe it. Just don't believe it. If you've been following me at all, you know that chronic pain is multi-layered and complex it's complex. So a simple singular treatment is not going to treat your chronic pain because you need to treat your nervous system. You need to treat your tissue. You need to treat your brain. You need to have a sense of self, right? Like all of these things are instrumental in dealing with chronic pain. You will notice one of the things that I generally do not say in my marketing is that I can fix you, because I cannot. I can offer you things to explore, avenues to try, things that will absolutely make your nervous system feel safer if you do it. And that may reduce your pain, but it may not. There is 0 treatments that are proven to reduce, remove, get rid of pain 100% of the time. There are none. Okay. Surgery has abysmal rates. Injection, not real great. The various and different things that we do inside and out, like inside chiropractic care and inside physical therapy or massage therapy, also not great. Okay. So, without being like a Debbie Downer and going through all of the things that don't work, let's look at what evidence-based options that we actually do have that have gone through rigorous research and clinical trials. Okay. So they are not universally effective, but they've demonstrated the potential to alleviate symptoms for a certain group of sufferers. So if you really want to know if what you are going to try works best for you, I highly suggest you learn to read research, like actual research, not anecdotal stuff, not not even like what I do. Like I take research and I break it down to make it easier to understand and talk in a folksy kind of way in my blog. I mean, like, go to the research so that you can see what kind of people did they do this study on? How many people were in the study? Do these people look like you, or are they like all men? Because that happens a lot. Please remember, it wasn't until 1993 that women were like made to be included in research. So, yeah. All right. So, things that are evidence-based and have shown a potential to reduce symptoms for a certain group of sufferers are things from modalities. That's like stuff that is done to you in an office, physical therapist, chiropractic care, things like that. Medication and psychological interventions. So each offers a different approach to managing your chronic pain. For example, physical therapy stands out in its role to enhance mobility and reduce pain through exercise and manual therapies. What we know is that movement of some kind is better than movement of no kind. And there is no one exercise that is better than another at reducing pain. So if you are being sold, do these exercises, and no, no, movement of any kind, getting up off your couch or out of your bed and walking around your house, is better than nothing. Okay, you are more likely to reduce your pain that way than a specific program that somebody thinks is the cure to back pain or arm pain or whatever. Okay, so movement is better than no movement. Specific exercise is not better than random movement. Okay. So what is helpful in physical therapy is having somebody watch you, having somebody with you, having somebody encourage you, having somebody break down exercises so maybe they're not so overwhelming or so I don't know, complicated, right? Giving you confidence to move. That is really where the money's at in physical therapy. Is it's not the exercises that you do, it is giving you the confidence and smaller bites to begin moving. And then the more you begin moving, the more confidence you have, the more your pain reduces. But it's not because of the specific exercises, it's because you're moving. Okay. Second thing that is better than nothing, acceptance and commitment therapy under the umbrella of cognitive behavioral therapy has shown promises in addressing the psychological aspects of chronic pain by reframing negative thoughts. Thought work, which is thought therapy, can help reduce your distress and improve your coping skills, which leads to better pain management, leads to less pain. In this bucket, mindfulness and relaxation techniques, does not matter which ones you choose, it's the ones that you like, are excellent at reducing stress and therefore the amount of pain that we experience. And it gives you tools that you can use to manage. If you are curious about some of those things, go ahead and look at the playlist. There is there are several mindfulness and relaxation techniques that I have done on this channel if you enjoy listening to my voice. If not, Google those things and you will find gajillions of options. Okay. So there's a bunch of emerging technologies and informations like nerve stimulators, spinal cord stimulators, these kinds of things. And the hope is that it will be an effective management for cases where everything else has failed. Again, they help some people, but not everybody. It's important to understand that when you're going in, right? Medical professionals believe the things that they do to help people help everybody or help almost all the people, because either people get better and don't come back, or people don't get better and they don't come back and they don't know why. So remember that there is a bias coming from the people that you're talking to about medical treatments. All right. Pursuing evidence-based options, you have to do so with cautious optimism. I call it realistic optimism, right? So we know that believing something's going to work makes it work better than not believing it's going to work. We know that liking the provider is, you've got a better chance that it will work than if you don't like the provider, right? So many of the reasons these interventions work is because of factors that aren't the actual thing. So when you are exploring options to deal with your pain, make sure that you like your provider. Make sure that you believe in what they are selling you or suggesting that you try. Be sure that it's evidence-based. That will help you have a much more likely positive outcome. All right. Now, it's really easy to assume that you shouldn't do things that don't have research behind them or have been determined by research to be ineffective. Anything that has to do with changing your fascia with somebody's hands, that's been debunked. Trigger point stuff. So acupuncture, acupressure, dry needling. Dry needling is no more or less effective than being poked with a toothpick. Research shows. So it doesn't mean that being poked with a toothpick isn't effective, but these modalities are not effective for the reasons that all the courses teach us they are, right? So like putting your SI joint back in place, like all of those maneuvers and manipulations, they probably make you feel better for a short time. And that's great. You know why? Because they're changing the information in your nervous system. And that's a good thing. Okay. So what I encourage every client when they call me and they say, hey, Amy, should I try XYZ? The first thing I say is, does this make sense to you? Does this treatment make sense to you? If they say no, I say, do you need more information? Or is that an indication that maybe you shouldn't do it? 2, do you like your doctor? Do you trust your doctor? If the answer is yes, then we keep moving forward. If the answer is no, go find a different doctor. If, then the next question is, do you have the money to pay for this? Or will you go into debt? Or will you put yourself in financial hardship trying this thing? If the answer is that your insurance isn't going to cover it, you don't have enough money, it's going to be a financial hardship on the family, and there's no evidence that it's going to work better than placebo, don't do it. It's not worth it. It is not worth the risk. And the last question I ask every client to ask themselves is, can you spare the hope if it doesn't work? Can you get your hopes up that this treatment is going to help? But if it doesn't, can you afford that emotionally? That is how I encourage every single client to assess treatments that they're considering for their pain. Orthopedic surgeries for the purpose of pain, to get rid of pain, are not effective. They are no more effective than physical therapy. So somebody that has surgery on a shoulder for pain and somebody that chooses 6 weeks of physical therapy for shoulder pain, 12 months later, both of them are in the same place. Surgery does not yield better outcomes when the operation is being done because of pain. When pain is the reason that surgery is being performed, it does not outperform physical therapy. In many cases, it doesn't even outperform doing nothing. Consider that, right? So how much money are you willing to put behind a treatment that's like, it works sometimes, but not others? It works for some people, but not everybody. Well, am I one of those people? Well, we don't know, right? Because that's the reality. That is the reality of cupping and massage and Graston and chiropractic care and specific exercises and injections and spinal cord stimulators and medications. We don't know. Medicine doesn't know, and they don't know for sure. We've got a good guess. We've got a litany of things that can be tried, but they do not have hard, solid evidence with peer-reviewed studies and systematic literature done on them, right? We've got tons of individual N1. That's a case where here's my personal experience. That's an N1. So when somebody says, oh yeah, I had XYZ pain and I did ABC and now my pain's gone, that's great. There's no guarantee that that's what's going to happen for you, because their nervous system is entirely different than your nervous system. Their beliefs are different than yours. Like, everything is different because you are a different individual. So assessing our choices through the understanding that what a single individual says is really, really different than what the body of evidence says, and that most research studies are poop. They are designed in such a way that the researchers will get the results that they are intending, or they extrapolate success out of data that's really like meh. Yeah, it's important to understand that. So when you are evaluating what you are going to do, I think it is a lot easier to start with things that cost you nothing. Evaluating your lifestyle, evaluating your habits, looking at your sleep, looking at what you are putting into your body, looking at how much you are moving versus not moving. Are you pacing or are you not pacing? Are you taking care of your mental health or are you not taking care of your mental health? Are you asking for help? Are you evaluating what you believe about your pain and what that means about your future, right? These things are free and much more helpful in moving you towards a life that is meaningful and has less pain in it than constantly focusing on tissue treatments for chronic pain. I'm not saying they can't be helpful. I absolutely believe in physical therapy. I think it's important to move. I think touch therapy is very important for many of us. Many of us are touch deprived. So it's not the way in which we are being massaged. It is the fact that we are being touched and cared for, and somebody's paying attention to that owie spot. And we're getting good, positive input into our nervous system in these spots that hurt us. It's not that somebody's stretching out our fascia or releasing muscles. You can't freaking release a muscle. Are you kidding me? Like if you fell down and had impact, you would release all of the muscles that you fell on. Your butt would constantly be released from the pressure of sitting. Can you imagine what would happen during sex if pressure released things? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's nothing magical about a massage therapist pushing on you and saying that they're releasing things and the way that you interact with the world in your daily life. Pressure is pressure. There's nothing magical about hands. And research has shown this over and over and over and over and over again. That doesn't mean that massage isn't helpful in relaxing you, in reducing anxiety, in partnering with another person, in doing something to take care of yourself, in providing a version of self-care, providing a version of relaxation, meditation, all of those things. Breathing, we do all of those things during a massage. So massage has its place. It's just understanding why it works. Because if it works because it gives you time to relax, if it works because it gives you time to yourself, if it works because somebody is touching you in a loving and compassionate way, and you don't have money, you know what that means? Your friend can do it for you. Now, it's not going to be the same. My partner, bless his heart, is learning to massage. I show him videos and teach him things out of my own experience, right? But he doesn't know. So when he first started, you know, the touch was a little awkward and he wasn't really sure how much pressure and he, you know, his hands get tired really easy because those are muscles that you build up. But over our time together, he's gotten a lot better and he's learned things. He's not a massage therapist. That's not his job. He's a lawyer. But he's learning, and I don't have to pay to go get massages because I like him and I like the way that it feels when he touches me, and I feel super, super cared for. And any aches and pains that I have, it usually greatly improves, and it costs me nothing. Because I know that, yes, physical therapists, massage therapists, we learn skills in physical touch. We learn mostly to save our own bodies, right? But we learn different, you know, this is light and this is long and this is slow and this is deep and this is, you know, and we learn and muscles run this way, so we're going to work with the grain, or hey, we want to try against the grain and see what happens. So yes, I am visualing your muscles in your body when I am giving you a massage, and I'm thinking about which way the fibers lay to make it most comfortable for you. Anybody that can look at a picture of anatomy can learn those things. Remember, physical therapy school is an associate's, and massage therapy is even shorter. It's a certification in some, but not all places. We started out not knowing anything either, right? So it is not all of the fancy schmancy pseudoscientific things that people say to explain what they're doing that's really helping you. It's actually the touch and the trust and the peopling that is research-wise more likely to be helping you than not. Physical therapy. Those exercises are great. They target different muscles. That's fantastic. If you're not an exercise girly, go work in the garden, go build something out of wood, go refinish furniture, take a walk around the block, move in a way that is meaningful to you. Become the occupational therapist in your own life. Figure out how to do the stuff you want to do and move the way that you want to move. And that is just as effective as seeing a physical therapist. Physical therapists that are worth their salt can also help you with pacing. They can help you with other, like understanding your pain. They can help you reduce triggers. There's all kinds of things that a good physical therapist can do. But if you're relying on them for exercise prescription, I would suggest to you that if you've been once or twice, like most of us in chronic pain have been, you know what exercises they're going to prescribe. And if they help you, go ahead and do them. If you don't like them and they're not helping you and they just cause more pain, that's not the right movement for you, or it's too much movement. Like there's something there that needs to be dealt with that's incorrect in the prescription of exercise. So don't be fooled by the tools, the medicines, the supplements, and all of the other things that are telling you they are best to get rid of your pain, or they're promising to get rid of your pain, because that's probably not going to happen. Unless you fall into that group of people that these things work for, which then great, but don't tell everybody that this is the thing that caused your pain to go away, right? Haven't you ever noticed how much trouble I have answering that question when people say, Amy, what made your pain go away? And I'm like, well, I mean, it was a lot of things, because it wasn't a medication. It wasn't particular exercise. It sure as shit wasn't surgery. There were a lot of mindset changes, physical changes, changes in the way that I dealt with my body, changes in the way that I dealt with boundaries, changes in the way that I looked at myself, changes in the way that I looked at my pain. Like it was an overhaul of a million things. And that's fantastic. But it takes work, and it's not something that doctors are going to do for you. If you want to know more about that, in the first week in July of 2024, I will be hosting a chronic pain reboot. It's a week-long free informational guide in my Facebook group. You can register for it. We'll meet once a week. We won't meet on the 4th of July because we're all going to be celebrating and eating hot dogs and hamburgers and watching fireworks. But I will talk you through the elements of things that you need in order to change your chronic pain. And by change your chronic pain, I mean live bigger and better, whether or not you still have pain or not. Many of my students become completely pain-free. That's amazing. Many of my students do not become completely pain-free, but they no longer care because they're doing everything they want to do in life. They've gone from being in bed to being able to go back to work or to school or to play with their kids or their grandkids. They're not constantly worried about their pain anymore because they've approached it differently. So if you want to join me for Chronic Pain Reboot, I will put the link in the description, and I hope to see you there. Have a great week, and I will see you next week when we talk about why we hurt.